Good afternoon from the Queen Elizabeth. We are at sea heading south back towards Seattle. We're going to stop over in Victoria, BC tomorrow, and then the day after we'll be in port in Seattle. So we're at sea today, and I figured today would be a great day to show you the room. So we're on board the Queen Elizabeth. We're on deck 7. We are on the port side aft in room 7124 in a standard cabin. This is what it looks like. So here's the main door. It does have a deadbolt lock. Has a peephole and all the emergency stuff. And these are what they give you. Please make up my stateroom. Privacy. You can stick this on the outside of the door. The doors are magnetic. They're metal. So you stick that outside. You do have to use your cruise card or some kind of card to get power in the room. There's some light switches, and I'm guessing that's an emergency light in case something happens. We lose power. Over here, as you come in on the right, here I'll show you this whole entrance closet, or the whole entrance hallway. Over here we have a couple of hanging lockers, closets, wardrobes, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling them a locker because we're on a boat. Up above we have a small shelf, room for shoes and things like that, and then a full-length hanging bar with hangers. So these are the hangers that they provided. They're these ones that they're double. And then we have a couple of our own. And then there's room down below if you don't have a ton of full-length stuff. We have a few more things like a bag. I have my camera bag and backpack, some shoes, a tripod down there. There's a lot of room in there. And this is a double wide. And then next to this, we have life jackets. And we were able to put a few more things up here. Some shelving for clothing. We have packing cubes. We have the safe. And then I got to remember not to lose that. And then another hanging bar down below. And then a few little hooks and things inside the door. And then you can see that it kind of gets wider. So this is a little bit deeper. And this is where we have the robes that they provided. And we have more hangers provided by the cruise line. And then this bar down here, if you want the full length hanging, you can see we kind of shoved the robes out of the way. This bar will move back so you can have the full length. We moved it forward so we have more hanging space. And then this, for reference, is a carry-on size suitcase, rolling suitcase. And those are the robes that Cunard provides. They are very soft. And you can buy these down in the shop. I think they're $75. They're very soft. And then I think we also have, somewhere down here, we also have slippers provided by Cunard. And then on the other side, as you come in, is the ensuite. There's a couple of towel hooks, full-size standing shower. Has plenty of headroom for me. It is a little tight. It's not the smallest shower I've ever had on a cruise ship, but it is not the largest either. And has a shower curtain. And then these 3 bottles, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash are provided by the cruise line. Has a little shelf up top. And towel bar, another towel bar, shelf down below. Down here with a trash can, tissue box, and then here's the vanity, couple of shelves on either side. And then there is the toilet. And it's a decent sized ensuite. It doesn't feel that cramped. The shower occasionally will feel a little small, but it's not the worst we've ever had. Then, let me turn on all of the lights. Here's the main stateroom. Here is the bed. We have it set up as a king. They call it a king. It's a little smaller than a king, but you can see that the beds will split and you can have 2 twins, and these nightstands move. So there's one on either side with a table lamp and 3 drawers each that are the full depth. And then back here, you can see that there's 2 USB ports, a USB Type A and Type C, and then also switches for the lights in the room. The USB Type A and C, I believe, are combined 15 watts, So not super fast charging, but nice for overnight, leaving your phone plugged in. Emergency intercom speaker. This is the temperature control. You don't have temperature, but warm, cool, and we've just left it on the middle and it's been great. We have had a couple of days where it was cold outside and we did turn it up and it will get quite warm. So that's over here on the left side next to the bed. Then underneath the bed, you do have room. We have 2 full-size rolling luggages, like checked luggage. So full-size luggage will fit. They fit no problem under the bed. And then at the foot of the bed, down over here, we have some more drawers. So these ones, this one is full of Cunard excess bedding and stuff. And it looks like they've prepped it for the next guests because we're going to get into port in a couple of days. But this one over here has some room in it for some of our stuff. So we have, it's got another one right here. So we have been able to use that one. At the foot of the bed on the wall is a TV, and there are 2 coat hooks. And then, so we came in here, the hallway, the end of the wardrobe. There's a long, full-sized mirror, 2 hanging hooks, the TV, and then a desk with a freestanding chair. And there's a drawer in the desk. And then back here at the back of the desk, we have an American socket, light switch for the 2 lights over the desk. There's a mirror. And then a British plug, another American plug, European plug, and then phone, Ethernet, all right here, all along the back part of the desk. And then up over here, we have a coffee, tea, we have a hot pot, some mugs, powdered coffee, decaf and regular, some biscuits, some tea, and then over here, 2 more American plugs back here. I've been using these ones for like charging my camera and things. It's worked really well. Above the fridge, we have a drawer with a ship-approved British plug hair dryer. And then down below that, we have the fridge with minibar. And the boat has Pepsi products on tap. In the minibar, they have Coke products. So they have Coke Zero, a couple bottles of Coke in a glass bottles, Diet Coke, a couple of beers, some wine. We have a couple bottles of champagne that we were gifted by the cruise line. And that's about it. When we came on board, this bottle was in our stateroom. It's complimentary as an coming on board gift. And a couple of glasses were in here. And then up above the desk, we have this little bar with all of our stemware and some bottles of water. Another bottle of red wine, a couple bottles of water. You can order sparkling or still. And then across from that, because we're on a boat, I'll call it a settee, but it's a little couch settee. And another nightstand with some drawers, little movable coffee table, and then our balcony. This light over here is like a little reading light. It has a switch separate from the rest of the room for this little couch area. And then we have day shades and night shades, especially for up in Alaska where it stays light pretty much all the time in the summer. They were very helpful. And then we have our balcony, and our balcony is probably 4.5 feet deep. We have decent deck chairs. It does not feel cramped. We've had cruise balconies that have felt cramped. This one does not. It's a fairly good size. And typically these would be closed, but we're cruising with people on both sides, so. And just so you can see, there's no shades. The doors, the door and the windows, all the glass out to the balcony are fairly well mirrored and tinted, so it actually offers quite a bit of privacy. It's deceptive because it looks so clear, but it's also very bright outside, even when it's cloudy. So when there's daylight outside, you really can't see into the staterooms with nothing, even without these closed. If you close this, it's almost impossible to see in. So that's about it. That is our stateroom. It's, I would guess about 220, 230 square feet. They're not huge. Again, this is standard balcony. They're not huge, but they do not feel cramped. We have been in smaller staterooms. We've been in larger ones. This one is a great middle ground. And for the size ship, it's actually a really good size stateroom. So there you go. We're just gonna spend the rest of the day having a leisurely cruise down south towards Victoria. Tomorrow we get in at 9 and we'll be there until 9:30 p.m. So if anything interesting happens, I'll get the camera out and bring you along. But other than that, that is our room. We will see you soon.